Welcome to another edition of Africa Sideways. My name's Big Six Simpson and the cars just keep coming. We got the Ford B-Max this week. Pretty new on the South African market based on the Fiesta body. But this is far more sensible. It's got two sliding doors, slightly raised. Based on the Ford Fiesta, slight lengthened by 6 inches, slightly wider. Good cabin space in this little runner. Not a massive engine, 1 litre turbo on this, pushing out just under 100 kilowatts. You put the foot in, you get a fair little rumble coming through there. It's amazing what they can get out of 1 litre engines these days. As you can see, it's got 2 sliding doors with no center pillar, so that makes it easier for getting baby seats in, getting kids in the back, loading stuff up. But to get that extra stability by losing that middle beam, I've had to put extra reinforcing in the side doors. Euro 5 safety on this, as always. Ford, very safe cars, so you're not going to go wrong in that regard. Bury it in ya. Ooh, that's nice. That's 100 in 3rd gear. It's a little bit tight here, so we can't give it too much buriedness. More than enough power for a little family wagon zip around town, not a problem. Good windscreen wipers on this thing, do the job. What I like about this, very airy, you get big field of vision here. It's got the sky roof, lots of space for a small car. They really maximize the space in here, which is great. Fair legroom in the back and a decent boot space. And starting at 230,000 Rand, 16,000 pounds, you know, it's not a hell of a lot of money, and you're getting a lot of car here. You could go for a small little hatchback, but this feels a lot more substance to it, and very, very smooth. Arguably the smoothest car I've driven in a very, very long time. So what's this thing up against? Very tight segment, this kind of minibus segment. It's hard to describe really. Normally the cars with the sliding doors would be big 7 to 12 seaters, but this is a 5-seater with a sliding door. It's great if you've got a garage with sliding doors, because opening those back doors, like getting the shopping, getting the kids out, it gives you so much more space to work with a sliding door. So that's a definite plus on this car. 1 litre turbo diesel, you'd expect it to be very economical, but it claims to have 5 litres per 100 k's, but in reality you're going to get more like 9. With a smaller engine, you're going to be making it work harder. So this whole idea, if you've got a small engine, you're going to be spending less on petrol, is rubbish. It's really how you drive is the biggest determining factor. That's obviously within reason, of course. So in terms of competition, you're up against, well, one of the main competitions for this car is the brother of this car that it's based on, is the EcoSport. The EcoSport, you get more clearance, you get more of an SUV type of feel, whereas this is more of a traditional minibus feel. So all there when you dig it in. Very, very groovy. So to keep the Fiesta-like handling, they've got a very advanced electronic traction control system that can keep this car pretty much planted at high speed. It does have smallish tires on, which at first I thought this thing's not going to be a comfortable ride and not handle great, but you can really see it handles perfectly. You don't feel like you've got undersized tires, and it kind of fits the car. It's more aesthetically the tires look a little small. but to drive, it's perfect. Let's throw it around the hairpin now and see what happens. This is a good handling test. Beautiful gearbox, the smoothest gearbox I've driven in a long time. There you go, you can feel the traction control pulling in there. So at 250,000 Rand for this one, this particular model, you're really getting a lot of bang for your buck. And Ford always come in reasonably priced, although the exchange rate hasn't been helping the Ford in South Africa, as is seen by the new Everest, which is coming in at over 600,000 Rand, whereas the Fortuna is more like just over 400,000 or 500,000 Rand. Overtaking, when the turbo comes in, the 1 litre just sings past. Very good overtaking acceleration on this car between 100 and 120, or more like between 80 and 120. Top speed of it around 180, but in this size engine you'd want to cruise at about between 120 140 on the highway. You can bury it in and get the tyres squealing if you really want to. So this thing's ideally set up for a medium-sized family with 2 or 3 kids. You can fit 3 kids in the back easily. Adults, 2 comfortably. 3 is going to be a bit of a squash. Pretty economical. Fair price. Good backup and maintenance with Ford. And Fords are reliable unless you go for the diesels, where I've heard the diesels sometimes have a bit of some turbo issues, but don't quote me on that. I think most diesels are running on borrowed time after 150,000 Ks across all brands. So. Decent boot space here. Proper little family wagon. So when you're buying this car, what's this really up against? As I said, the EcoSport, the brother of this car, you get more of an SUV type of feel, but to be honest, this drives a lot better. It's a smoother ride. It feels more luxurious. You got your Sony radio here. The steering wheel is absolutely fantastic. The most comfortable steering wheel I've driven in a long time. So this thing is ticking 2 of the most boxes. Most comfortable ride and the best steering wheel, and arguably I'd say the best back doors as well. The only thing I'm a little bit worried about on a hill, if you're in one of these cars, you open the sliding door, is it really going to stay there? It does have a catch to keep it there, but you always second guess these sliding doors. The last thing you'd want is to be loading something up like a child and then the thing smacks in the back. But whether that it will ever happen is unknown, but it's just one of them ting, man. So in this price range you could go EcoSport, you could get yourself a hatchback, but in terms of functionality, this compared to a hatchback, I'd say the B-Max wins it every single time. So rating out of 10, I'd give it a solid 8.5 out of 10. I'm starting to get used to the keyless system, ladies and gentlemen. I've been getting a bit of feedback about my hate for the keyless system, so I attached it to my main key, so I'm not losing it anymore, and my life is now more relaxed. I'm becoming at one with the keyless system. Not to say I wouldn't still prefer a keyless system, but I can handle it now. It's not a default factor. Everything feels very well made. The indicator stalk on this side feels a little bit plasticky, but in terms of the radio, you really can't go wrong. You can unlock and lock the car there. Very, very comfortable leather seats. Manual handbrake, which is very important for me. You can charge up your iPhone with a cigarette lighter here. It's got your USB ports. You can fold the seat up and down here. Everything folds. You can fold that down so it becomes like a panel van. You got your sky roof. You got your mirrors. It's pretty much ticking all the boxes. The engine is is adequately powered for this. I could say you could put the 1.5 litre in there. I drove the 1.5 litre in the Focus, and that thing's orgasmic. Just when I was hoping for a little bit of a rest, the cars just keep on coming, and so will I. Catch you next time, only on Africa Sideways. See, this is the problem. I'm closing it, trying to close it here, and there it closes. So you don't know really if it's going to close 100% or not. That time it closed properly. Let's try again. 2 out of 3 times we got ourselves a winner.